A gruesome tragedy. New York City handyman brutally murders mother of two. The peaceful suburb of Forest Hills was shattered by a gruesome tragedy that left its residents in shock and disbelief. Ursula Gall, a beloved mother of two, was brutally murdered in her own home by a handyman she had hired to do repairs. What could have driven this seemingly ordinary man to commit such a heinous act? Join us as we explore the chilling details of this case and delve into the dark world of domestic violence. From the initial investigation to the trial and eventual conviction of the perpetrator, this is the story of a senseless crime that forever changed the lives of those who knew Ursula Gall. Welcome to AF Crime, the channel that brings you fascinating crimes all around the world. If you're interested in this kind of content, then this channel is for you. Make sure to like this video, click on the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to keep you updated on our recent uploads. Now, join us as we tell the story of Ursula Gall and attempt to uncover the truth behind the senseless and brutal act of violence. Ursula was a young woman who had fallen in love with a man named Benola. He was 44 years old, and they had been in a tumultuous relationship that had been on and off for some time. Benola claims that he and Ursula, they met when she and her husband hired him as a handyman. Things seemed to be going well for a while. Ursula was happy to be with Benola, and they enjoyed each other's company. But then something changed. Benola became possessive and jealous, accusing Ursula of cheating on him. The arguments became more frequent and intense, and Ursula started to feel uncomfortable with him. They had even broken up prior to the night of the incident, but had reunited earlier. Their relationship was considered at an end. It's not clear who initiated the breakup. Ursula had just returned from an amazing night out at the Lincoln Center in Manhattan, feeling exhilarated from the show she had attended. As she walked towards her apartment building, they decided to stop at a nearby bar to unwind with a drink. As she sipped on her cocktail, little did Ursula know that the night was far from over. Her on and off again partner, Benola, arrived at her residence shortly after she got back. It was still unclear how he had entered her apartment, but authorities found that he was either let in voluntarily or used a key he had knowledge about hidden in a barbecue. Gall's husband and eldest son were out of town on a trip at the time. Their 13-year-old son was home, and he was not involved in the attack. Benola had been madly in love with Ursula, but one day he stumbled upon some text messages exchanged between her and another man. His heart shattered into a million pieces, and he was unable to contain his emotions any longer. Mr. Benola decided to confront Ursula about it, and he waited for her to return home. It was a dark and stormy night when Ursula returned home from an event in Forest Hills. Little did she know that Benola was waiting for her, seething with anger and hurt. As soon as she walked through the door, they got into a heated argument that quickly escalated into a full-blown fight. In a fit of rage, Benola grabbed the sharp object and attacked Ursula mercilessly. He slashed her throat and repeatedly stabbed her more than 50 times. It was a gruesome scene, and the sheer brutality of the attack sent shockwaves through the community. The details are horrific, with police sources reporting that she sustained 58 stab wounds to her neck, torso, arm, and hand. It's believed that the hand wounds were from attempts to fight off her attacker. Benola then attempted to cover up his crime by placing Ursula's body in her son's hockey bag and was captured on security camera footage wheeling the bag down 75th Avenue in Forest Hills. Police found Benola Wednesday night as they were canvassing for more video footage in the case. He willingly came in for questioning and made incriminating statements. The discovery of Gall's body in the bag was made by authorities after receiving a call about a suspicious bag with blood on it at the corner of Metropolitan Avenue and Jackie Robinson Parkway in Forest Hills. Emergency services responded and pronounced her dead at the scene. The New York City Office of Chief Medical Examiner classified Gall's death as a homicide due to sharp force injuries of the neck. NBC New York reported, After detectives found her body in the bag, a trail of blood led them to her Juno Street home about a half-mile away. A knife believed to be used in the murder was recovered from the house. The heinous crime that took place in a quiet neighborhood in Queens left the entire community reeling. It was an unthinkable act that shattered the peace and tranquility of the area. However, thanks to the swift action of the local police force, justice was served in a timely manner. According to reports, Benola voluntarily accompanied officers to the 112th precinct, where he made a shocking confession about the brutal attack that had taken place. His confession allowed the authorities to make an arrest and charge him with the murder of Osoya the very next day. As the case progressed, Benola faced a judge in Queens Supreme Court, where he was arraigned on multiple charges, including murder in the second degree, tampering with physical evidence, and criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree. The judge, noting the severity of the crime, ordered that the defendant be held without bond. This ensures that he will be held accountable for his actions and that justice will be served. The news of this senseless tragedy is heartbreaking. The swift action of the police department and the judicial system should give the community hope. It is a reminder that justice will always be served, and those who commit heinous crimes will be held accountable. The community can take comfort in knowing that they are safe and that their peace will be protected. Despite Benola's claims that he acted out of love and passion, the world was left to ponder the tragic consequences of jealousy and possessiveness. It was a cautionary tale of how even the strongest of emotions can lead to the darkest of outcomes. Osoya's friends and family were left reeling from the sudden and brutal attack. They couldn't fathom how someone could take another person's life in such a violent manner, as they struggled to come to terms with their loss. The community came together to remember Osoya and honor her memory. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the city, and people were left wondering how they could have prevented such a horrific incident. Many realize that jealousy and possessiveness can often lead to dangerous and deadly consequences, and it's important to seek help if you or someone you know is struggling with these emotions. In the end, Osoya's life was cut short by an act of senseless violence, leaving her loved ones to grieve and mourn her loss. It was a stark reminder of how precious life is and how easily it can be taken away. May her soul rest in peace. May her memory serve as a reminder to us all to cherish the moments we have with our loved ones. As we come to the end of this tragic story, we are left with a sense of sadness and shock. Osoya Gall, a 51-year-old mother of two, was brutally murdered in her own home in Forest Hills, Queens. The details of the crime are gruesome and difficult to comprehend. It's hard to imagine the pain and suffering that she must have endured in her final moments. The suspect, Benola, has been identified and is now in custody. He will be held to account for this horrific crime, and justice will be served. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Osoya's family and friends during this difficult time. May they find peace and comfort in the memories they shared with her. Let us hope that this tragedy serves as a reminder that violence is never the answer, and that we must always strive to treat each other with kindness and respect. If you feel that this case was an intriguing one, like this video and share it with all your friends. Also, subscribe to our AF Crime channel for finding more shocking tales around the world. And if you have any criminal case that you like me to investigate, share it in the comment section below.